Hello everyone, Ziljin here with another art video. Yep. So yeah, the first one, it's supposed to be, can you guess? It's me as a Pokemon trainer. You know, I got the beard, the mustache, the glasses. I got on a V-neck shirt and some shorts and some sneakers, yo. The only way I could think of to make myself look like a Pokemon master is wear a Pokeball on the shirt. Yeah. Pokemon merchandise, yo. Gotta get that merchandise. But yeah, I was actually originally gonna have like a hat on top, but then like, I thought, wait, it's summer, it's hot, because you know I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts. I'm not gonna be wearing a hat. You know, in the video games you can wear a hat all year long, but whatever. So this is basically based on the team I would have used in Pokemon Blue, which is like one of the games I had a long time ago. Really liked Pokemon, but now like I'm not that into it. But yeah, because they are remaking Pokemon Yellow as Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, and I did try playing Pokemon Go, but I got really bored of it because it was like super hard to get all the Pokemon anyway. So normally I have played it multiple times. You know, I normally would have chose Squirtle because I think that's the best starter. Water, you know, destroys Brock and resists Misty. It does poorly against Lieutenant Surge, but by then you got your Geodude gonna wreck it. So the first Pokemon I always catch is the Pidgey. I would never use the Rattata or the Spearow. You know, turns out after a while I looked it up. Spearow is much stronger than Pidgey, has better moveset and better stats. And then there's Pikachu in the Viridian Forest. You know, like, because of the anime, I always wanted a Pikachu, but it turns out Pikachu and Raichu is not that great. There's like Jolteon and Zapdos is a lot better. And then Geodude isn't that strong, but for me, like playing the campaign, he's plenty powerful. You know, the rock and ground resist fire, immune to electric, and like resist normal and flying and so many attacks. It's just weak against grass and water, but most of the time in the game, you don't really fight that many grass or water Pokemon. Like flying, normal type is really super common. You know, yeah, so even in like in the other games, Crystal, Diamond, I always captured and used Pidgey and Geodude and Abra. And yeah, Abra is a little bit harder to train because it has no moves until you evolve into Kadabra, and you have to switch. Pretty annoying. And capturing him is also super annoying because his only move is teleport. So if you can't capture him at the first Pokeball, he's gone. So you have to super painful to capture the Abra, and then painful to train him up into the Kadabra. And also I never trade or anything, so I'm always stuck with Graveler and Kadabra, but still plenty powerful. Yeah, but although late game you could replace it with a Mewtwo, but in the other games you can't capture Mewtwo, so I always use Kadabra. Yep. And then the last one, I honestly forgot what Pokemon I used, but you know what, Vulpix is the blue exclusive fire. So yeah, let me draw the Vulpix. I probably would have used the Vulpix. Yeah, so I would like to think the Pokemon turned out pretty good. And the background, that's supposed to be wild, the tall grass, if you couldn't tell. And there's just a random bush here for Pidgey to perch on. Yep. Now here's a centaur. So in the last video I drew a unicorn and the legs didn't turn out so good. This time it turned out a little bit better. This was all drawn from memory, by the way. I didn't look up pictures of horses. I probably should have. It might have turned out even better, but yeah, I would like to think this is an improvement over the unicorn one. And yeah, and generic background of course, but I added some lines to the tree so it looks a little bit better. And this is kind of, if you look at it, it's kind of it's not very logical, because Centaur, he got his head, he don't have a helmet, he doesn't have chest armor, arm armor, and his whole body is a humongous horse body. Zero armor for there. All he has is a shoulder armor and a tiny ass shield. Oh my god, this is like more akin to like Viking shields. How's that gonna protect this tiny shield versus the entire body. And I made him a lancer too. He's supposed to charge into the enemy, you know, and he has a tiny shield. Most knights usually have like a much bigger shield, like a tower shield, or that, I don't know, much bigger than this for sure, and fully decked in armor. And this guy doesn't have any armor except for the shoulder pad and the tiny ass shield. But yeah, so it kind of makes no sense. But yeah, I just want to draw a centaur, so yeah. And here's Master Chief. I promised to draw this years ago, and I finally got to it. And I really liked how it turned out, especially the gun. There's so many details on it that I couldn't capture them all, but I did my best, you know, to make it look really distinct. And you know, and yeah, it's cool. Like some parts of it, I try to make the, you know, not each part, but like different parts, you know, different colors, so it's like really cool looking and stuff. And we got the wall here. It's pretty much one single brick, and I just copy and pasted it over and over again. But it turned out pretty good because, you know, the brick doesn't look that standard. So it looks like the bricks are all different from distance, even though they're actually the same one, because, you know, it's not just square line. It's not a perfect straight lines. Yeah, and I made them all different colors. There's probably like 3 or 4 different shades of red here. The knife looks pretty cool, even though maybe it's a little bit small. And then the head part is the one that I didn't like as much as the rest of the body. I don't know. The head just doesn't look like Master Chief. Probably it's because the angle, you know, it's facing the camera. Doesn't look that great. And probably should have been a little bit more rounder. Yeah. So obviously the setting is Master Chief is hiding behind this wall, and part of it has been blown up, and there's like little pieces of cement there from the bricks, and parts of it, you know, blown up, you know, fell off, etc. So it's not just like solid pieces of bricks, you know, parts of it, you know, parts of the cement is gone, because, you know, when it falls apart, it's not gonna like perfectly one brick clean off, or, you know, parts of it's gonna come off. Some of the cement is still be stuck there, and etc. And here's an Attack on Titan fan art. Yeah, so this one I did the same thing with the bricks, but this one was a almost perfect square. It's just a little round corner, and I don't like how it turned out because it looks like too straight. That's the problem. So it looks like too, like, I don't know, it's like it looks too straight. Like, turns out, you know, in real life, bricks and stones and etc., it's not perfectly unison, you know. Everyone makes mistakes and stuff. But yeah, so here's the Titan, and he's naked, but don't demonetize me, YouTube, because in Attack on Titans, they have no nipples, they have no genitals, no nothing. But I did add the heavy shading, just like they do in the anime. And here's 3 scouts fighting the Titan. And here's a poor scout that's either crushed to death or going to be eaten to death. Either way, he's a goner. Unless this guy can cut the nape right away. But yeah. As you can see, this guy is probably similar size to this guy. But this guy is bigger and this guy is smaller. I don't know what happened. Yeah, well, you can imagine, you know, maybe this guy is like super close in the foreground, closer to the camera. These two are further in the back. Although this guy is definitely, you know, behind his neck, and this guy is in front of his arm. So this guy should be bigger than this guy, but I don't know what happened. Mostly, I mean, the arms are fine. It's just the legs are really short. Now that I looked at it, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's a child protege or something. Just a really short scouting legion. Yeah. And I did my best to have, you know, that symbols on the back, you know, the wings of the scouting legion. Yeah. So, and also did some color separation, you know, the swords, the ODM gear, the tan shirt, the vest, and then the pants and the boots. Yeah. So I liked how this turned out, even though it's like super low detail. If I drew it in like bigger or something, it probably would look uglier maybe. But yeah, over here it looks fine. In the distance, you can't really tell how, you know, From a distance, it kind of looks like the Scouting Legion. Yeah, from Attack on Titan. So for this picture, I just wanted to draw a sandwich, and then I just drew in the rest. I started out with the sandwich in the center, and then I moved it to the side, drew in a hot dog bun. So yeah, if you're unfamiliar, these are commonly found in Chinese bakeries. I don't know, maybe other Asian countries too have them, you know. But from where I live, all we have is Chinese bakery. So yeah, this is like a standard sandwich. There's 2 slices of bread. Here's, you know, some cardboard or napkin or something, a wrapper to hold the sandwich together so it doesn't fall apart. Because yeah, there's the 2 slices of bread, there's a ham, a piece of ham, some ham, there's the egg. It's usually fried, I think, or boiled. I don't know how to prepare it, but they have eggs there, and then some sliced tomatoes. And I was gonna put some lettuce, but I couldn't figure out how to draw, like, you know, the leaves of lettuce. And here's a Chinese hot dog bun. So I mean, I'm sure you've eaten hot dogs before, and I've eaten hot dogs in my videos before too, you know. And yeah, this Chinese hot dog bun is basically they put the hot dog in and wrap it around with dough, and then they bake it. So that's why it looks like this. American hot dog buns, you got the bun, it's separate, and then you put the hot dog in the middle of the bun pieces, slices. Yeah, so it's different. You should try it if you have not already. Yep. So here's a man holding it. His body is really rectangular, unfortunately. I would like to pretend that's me, but it could be anyone. Cause yeah, and then in the background, this is supposed to be the checkout counter, and then the bottom is the tiles, checkerboard tiles. Even though oh my god, I drew this on the phone, so forgive me if the details are like really awful looking. Yeah, it's not even straight. Like the line, it's like a circus mirror or something, all distorted. And the arms are probably way too small compared to the torso. Maybe I should have made maybe cut it up, like make him a lot skinnier. Yeah, or the arms bigger. Hopefully you can tell what kind of pose I'm trying to do here. The other fingers are under the tray, and then the thumb is above the tray. Yeah, and I did my best to make the tray 3-dimensional, because the border, the edge is raised and wider than the bottom part. Yeah. And here's a minotaur, another Greek mythological creature that I try to redraw. So this time the background is a little less generic. I mean it looks kind of generic, but the theme, the idea of this, like, you know, what I thought into it, you know, when I was drawing this, you know, this is supposed to be the labyrinth maze from the Greek mythology, from, you know, the King Minos of Crete. You know, he had a minotaur, although his minotaur was a male, but this minotaur is a female. I actually had to look up cows to see if they have horns or not, because I was drawing the horns. It was actually a male minotaur at first, but then later on I turned it a woman, because you know what? Why not? Anyway, so yeah, it turns out cows do have horns, but usually farmers do something to operate them, or surgery or whatever, basically prevent them from growing the horns. I did not know that. I actually thought cows do not have horns, but it turns out cows do have horns. Male, female cows, bulls, etc. Oh, they all have horns, in the wild at least. But the farmers interfere with nature and remove their horns and prevent them from growing. And here's a victim of the minotaur, although it makes no sense because the blade is perfectly clean. I guess you would just have to imagine the minotaur killed this poor person and then wiped the axe clean. And the axe, it's more, this is supposed to be like bronze, because, you know, the Minoans actually existed during the Bronze Age of Greece. And here's a belt. I actually looked up a Minoan symbol because I was looking for something to fill this in. I was gonna do something really cheesy and simple, like a minotaur head onto it, but that doesn't make any sense. Why would a minotaur have a symbol of a minotaur head on it? Like a human wouldn't have a belt or armor with a human's face on it, right? Probably not. So yeah, so this is actually a minotaur, not minotaur symbol, Minoan symbol. that I found online. You can't see part of it because it's obscured by the axe. But yeah. So yeah, these are supposed to be the maze, parts of the maze. There's a person victim of the Minotaur, and here's the female Minotaur. Yup. I really liked how this turned out. And last but not least, here's a lizard folk skirmisher. Yeah, so this is actually based on a dinosaur. There's a dinosaur that has like fins at the back. I just don't remember what it's called, but yeah. I mean, you can just it's just drawing. It's fantasy. You can, have your creatures, races, etc. look however the way you want. Every artist does it differently. Every story, franchise, universe, etc. So yeah. So for mine, there's a lizard that has fins in the back like that. There aren't. Yeah. Maybe he's a dinosaur missing link or something. And lizards don't throw spears and javelins and stand upright anyway, so it's completely made up anyway. Yeah. Decided not to just have a forest because, lizards they don't live in forests, do they? They live more like, I don't know, close. I don't know. I think some of them live in forests and some of them live in deserts, like different biomes and stuff. So this was like a less densely populated packed forest. And here's how it looked like when I actually drew it in 2008. Yeah, so the pose I would like to think I fixed it. Looks more natural. Instead of the arm just straight up, there's a little curve to it, and the legs, I made the feet level. So it's like he's crouching, he's throwing the thing. And I made the tongue more lizard-like. Is that lizard-like or snake-like? But whatever. And try to make the hand look a little bit more curved, instead of just like that. Yeah, and I reversed. I looked up pictures of like peltasts and stuff, like javelin throwers. They usually have their javelins like this, and not. I would think they would have it like that, but I guess it makes sense. It might drop on their foot and hurt themselves. But yeah. So yeah. Here it is compared to the original. I decided not to cover it in scales because I was like, oh my god, I don't like the merfolk, the mermaid. Oh my god, that was such a pain. Like I could do it sometimes, but like not every time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's pretty much it, right? Yep. So yeah, hopefully everyone enjoyed watching this video. Be sure to let me know which one you like the best. Any art requests, fan art, etc., animals, people, or whatever, fantasy, sci-fi, etc. I'm open to requests. I'll if you request it, I'll do my best to draw it. It might not turn out as that amazing, or that it doesn't look exactly like it, but I'll do my best. So yeah, hopefully everyone enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, rate the video. As always, thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Bye.